matching center rings for the caps. How's that look, guys? What do you think? This is how much of a nerd I am. I want to protect these wheels, and I gotta get a screwdriver in there to pop out those locks from that axle nut and then get that axle nut off. So I have to lower it on the wheels so I can break them free, because I'm replacing the CV axles on both sides. Only one of them's leaking, but I'm going to take care of them both. I'm also dropping the diff, putting in new diff mounts. See, lots of stuff going on here. I have to get the CV axles out first. Oh, fine. No. Can't touch this. No. Can't touch this. No.
My apologies for that.
Okay. Now, this is very high-tech stuff right here. Torque is equal to force times distance. The torque spec for the axle nut is 221 foot-pounds. The force is equal to the 185 pounds of pure muscle mass that is my mechanical weight. So let's rearrange that equation to find the minimum distance from the axle nut required to break it free.
Daddy, what happened?
Okay, ready? By the way, this is much more helpful if you're trying to torque something to spec, but don't have a torque wrench big enough to accomplish the task. Woo!
He got it.
I got it.
That was really hard.
That was really hard.
Yeah.
This job is probably a little easier for me because, one, I have a lift, and two, because I'm removing all of the suspension at some point in time. So removing these bolts was pretty easy, but I also made it harder for myself because I took the drive shaft out first. Removing the drive shaft from the wheel hub or wheel bearing is another story. You should have a BMW special tool to do this. You should not do it the way I did it. I used a hammer, which is probably not the smartest way if you're keeping the bearings, but I was throwing the bearings away. So I tried using this special little pulley puller, which did not work at all, and I broke trying to do this. So I just used a hammer and it worked just fine. But check M5 board for some special tools and ideas on how to remove and reinstall the CV axle without causing any damage. I'll post some links below. So now we got to remove the clamps and the boots. I just used a screwdriver and hammer to remove the clamps, cut the boots off with a good old utility knife, and then we can remove the inner joint and prepare to rebuild it. I put it in here in my vise with a little throwaway garage towel on it so it doesn't mar the actual CV axle itself. Try to set it up against the edge of this so it's pretty solid without moving, and then you can gently tap on the edge of this all the way around. Clean it out a little bit, and then you can see here the C-clamp, which you need a special clamp tool, which is hard to get to when the CV axle's in the way. Just like that. So that'll get repacked and re-greased. So this one's pretty messy,
and I'm gonna have to check and see if there's any play in that. I think I already did that. Was a little wet, and so you could tell it was leaking. I also noticed that this seal here, this aluminum edge that the boot and boot clamp seal around, is serrated. It looks damaged, and that obviously is not good. That is one hell of a damage. I cleaned it off quite a bit because I wanted to make sure that that's not where it was leaking, that it was not leaking out of here. But quite honestly, I don't think it's leaking out of there. I have the boot kit. The boot kits are pretty cheap. I think I'm just going to try to fix it, reclamp it, and hopefully that'll last me a while. Well, you may not think that's as nice and clean as I do, but after what it looked like before, that looks immaculate. So anyways, I do have to pull this other cap off of this one. And that is because this comes as one piece with the clamp already on it, I guess. So I'm going to take this one, and then there's a new back plate as well. So tight.
All that morning is going in over there.
Oh God, man. Oh, it's killing my fingers. Whew.
Maybe you need more glue.
I do. So I did come to the conclusion that this is not damaged as I had originally thought. If you can see inside, there are perfect square little marks, and they are all around the perimeter on the inside, which you actually don't see on the outside, other than maybe a little dimple there. And I don't know if that just makes it a little stronger, like a gusseting, but I came to the conclusion personally that that is why it's a little looks a little wavy, and because of that, I don't think it's gonna it's in risk of leaking, despite the damage that I see here and here and here.
After you put the Loctite on the inner joint and install the inner joint, I want you to be very careful about the orientation of which you install the joint. It's important.